going to do a little demo on it, how it works. He does sell them also. If you're looking, come by during the break and check it out. Take one of his cards. You get like $25 off for any of the members looking to purchase it. Pretty cool looking machine. I don't know if I said it, my name is Randy Briggs for you people who are new here. I am your lame duck president. Well, we'll see. November's coming up really quick. So Otto might want to run at the podium up here.
Everybody who votes for Randall now, that's not his.
Well, we'll see. It's a long way down the road. Anything can happen.
Called the draft.
We were talking to Woody about we're also having the chili cook-off coming up. He wanted me to mention, he was going to grind up, what do you have, like 10 pounds of London broil for the taco bar. We're going to have the taco bar, and I guess Lee is
20 pounds.
20 pounds, well, I don't know. How many people plan on going up to Woody's for the event that we're going to have?
Hey, it's free food, you might as well go.
Free food, chili cook-off, taco bar. We're not going to have the chili eating contest this time, I don't think. Well,
Come on.
maybe get some hotter ones, some habaneros.
We already had a fire up there.
Okay.
We already had a fire.
So, yeah, it was a good time we had. Lee's going to be one of our judges. But I think the missus is making some chili. I don't know. I don't know. I might see some shenanigans in there. You know. So we might need a couple more judges up there. We'll need more because I don't trust just him because he might be a little partial. What, Don? Well, I don't know.
Come on, it was last year.
Okay. Is the air working here today? I don't know. That's going to be the 15th? The 15th. Saturday the 15th, so a week from this Saturday. All day, probably starts about 9 o'clock. And I don't know the whole calendar of events. Do you have any calendar of events?
When I get to talk,
Okay. He's thinking of that right now, so he'll come up with something in the next 15, 20 minutes. So, I also had a lady call me. I don't know if she showed up here. I guess her husband died, and she had some prospecting equipment. She was. I told her to come by. It was just a fluke that she called me today. I told her to come by with a list, and you know, she ain't gonna use it. She also had a few claims too, and I wanted to talk to her about those. Maybe she can donate those to the club, and we could pay the maintenance fees, or I don't know who it was. She said it was her husband. I don't know. I barely heard her on the phone.
Call her back.
But she said she was going to come here tonight. I do have the name in my phone, but my phone's dead on the side. It actually came up with the person's name on it, so.
Gene Walker was
drive up, the Nuggets are right by your door.
I believe so, yes. But I don't think they're active members. I don't think they've been coming to the meetings or anything every month. I think he was an older school prospector, and he hasn't really been in the prospecting for a few years.
Yes.
Yes.
Darlene.
I don't know.
I think her name is Delore or something.
Darlene is what I had.
Darlene. No, it's Darlene.
Darlene.
Makowski, is it? Yeah. Yeah, that was the name that came up on my phone. So. I couldn't remember. So I don't know if you know her. Like I said, she's got some prospecting equipment. She's got some claims. I don't know what they're looking to get. So. All right. Moving along. Well, let me go to the treasurer. Here's what else I'm going to say. We do have a speaker. We have Bill over here. He's metal detecting guru. He does the gold show. Oh, well, I'll get to you. Okay. Okay, maybe. The other thing I had before I get to whatever his name, Mark over here, is I was talking to Ted, and he has access through his work to have like a backhoe type thing, an excavator, mini excavator, where we may be able to, bring it out to one of our claims. I was thinking probably somewhere in the Morristown area, but we have to go through the BLM and we gotta, I guess, submit like a plan.
How about dumb luck?
Operation. Dumb luck, rip up dumb luck, yeah. Woody looks like he's for it, I saw his hand go up. So.
Why did I say it?
But you have to put together like a plan of operation through the BLM, leave them the deposit, and then they come out and check the area, and then I think they come back out after you're done to make sure that everything's still going to get your deposit back. So there are a few hoops you have to jump through. There are a few specifications. He wants his boss or whatever to get a little nugget, which is no problem, and feed him.
The operator who has to go with this, you give him a little nugget, off the nugget, we gotta feed the operator twice.
They're looking for a couple little nuggets, and it's really nothing. So. And they want food. Everybody wants food. I figure it'd just be combined with like a common dig or something in the fall. So. We'll try to work on that a little more and get you guys some more information. And what do you want, Cisco? All right. I'm gonna let you speak, you know. All right, coming over to Mark.
Evening, folks. I'm going to give you the treasurer's report for the month. Our petty cash boxes total $700 in cash. The checking accounts, we have $24.88 in the primary checking. In the claims account, we have $36.31. In the primary savings, we have $27.06 for a total of $95.27. If you add the gold inventory and the current ATV is also assets, we have a total of cash, gold, and assets of $19,255. So in that regard, we're doing pretty good. Just give you a quick recap as to what the club's done in the last 15 months. And this is not highly accurate, but fairly close. We bought 2 flagpole. We did the trailer upgrades. We bought a new grill, several new awnings, a new trommel and gold wheel. We streamlined the accounting process with taxes and everything's computerized now. We've been giving out larger nuggets to the raffles. We got a new raffle barrel. We got claims that we never had before. New club merchandise, general fundraising and ideas. We've brought up different things, including the ATV raffle. And future plans entail still purchasing a trailer, which I've lined up with one of the club members. He's going to be back in October, so we're going to separate the cooking items from the mining items in 2 separate trailers, which will eliminate a lot of having to dig stuff out, because right now you have to remove about 80% of the camp awnings and trailers, stuff like that, out of the trailer before you get to the mining equipment. So we're going to consolidate the respective items. We plan on buying some new equipment once the ATV raffle is concluded, and that's pretty much it for the treasurer's position. Again, I won't be able to run for treasurer when my term expires. Just my job just won't permit it. It's pretty rough right now. I'm just going to try to finish out my term. But so if anybody's interested in talking to me about what's entailed in the treasurer's position, which will be up for election in November, yeah, come see me. I've got it pretty streamlined. It's about 5 hours a month total. So compared to untold hours previously, but anyhow, I got it streamlined, so. If anybody's interested in the position and want some more details on it, come see me. That's all I've got, folks.
All right. Yeah, he's got it pretty easy. See, my phone's on 24/7, so, you know, when you guys are calling at 3 in the morning prospecting, you know, that. All right. Well, I was talking about the prospecting equipment. I guess you brought a list. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, yeah, there's a bunch of prospecting equipment on here, like a Desert Fox, some gold pans, a Fisher M scope metal detector, a MineLab 2200 SD metal detector, and there's 3 claims, and they're like, okay, he was a claims guy for the Roadrunner, so is, okay, these were privately owned claims that were donated to Roadrunner, or? Okay. So if anybody's interested, like say she got a lot of like generator, chisels, just a whole shopping list, you know, come on up during the break and.
I've got extra copies too that I can give you guys.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, and we could probably put something on the, our Facebook page as well to help you out, so.
Does she have any dry washers?
Any dry washer? I don't.
I'm not sure what dry washer is.
Dirty things.
He's got just like a whole one.
Like a aluminum
So the
box.
gold key,
He had everything.
the 2 hoses.
He was really into this, into the mining like that. I never went with him, so I really don't know anything except he left me with all this stuff. So a friend of his kind of priced it out, so I'm hoping to offer this.
All right. Okay. So come up and see her at the break. I'm gonna move on to Rob. Because our vice president, his cat's got his tongue, he's got nothing to say. I'm sure I could think of something, but. Well, the other thing is, I'll let you talk.
All right, so we've talked about this before. We took a vote on it, we agreed upon it as we, for the claims that we have. GLC 1, 2, and 3, we're not gonna renew. GPAP rocks, we're not gonna renew. And then we'll continue the discussion about Dickinson 1. Access is a little challenging in there, and we suspect at some point they'll limit access altogether, but right now it's still good. And then we're gonna take that investment and get more claims. As you already know, we've got a couple more claims already. So we'll kind of slow down right now on getting new claims until August, because we gotta renew, so we'll wait. No reason to get claims now and then have to renew in a month. So any questions about that? And the reason we're going to let those drop is because of accessibility. You just can't get to them. And so nobody's going out to them, nobody's using them. There's gold on them, but not if any. So we'll let those go. All right? We're always looking at new ground. Lee's always looking for new ground. Fred's looking for new ground. So we'll get more.
Yeah, Lee doesn't let any gold get by him, so, yeah. Yes, Ted?
You said, rocks 1, 2, 3, good luck, 1, 2, 3 are gone?
Not yet, they're not, but they're not gonna be renewed. Is it all 3 of those? Good luck and the rock stone?
GLC 1, 2, 3.
When he makes the noise.
When did that happen? End of August?
Actually, one of them, I think we lost already.
Yeah, we didn't file something like that.
Yeah, something didn't get filed right on one of those. I think it was the good GLC 3. Yeah. GLC3 is gone already, but the other ones will be gone when we don't renew, because we rather have better ground than what you're finding out there. And Fred has more spots to test. Like I say, we just need people to go out. You know, he needs help. He can't do it by himself. So, you know, if you're new to prospecting, see Lee, see that guy over there, yeah. No, I wouldn't point to you, Cisco. All right, now I'm gonna go back. I'll come to you now, Rob, since I teased you before and made you come up and, you know. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Randy. Hey, my name is Rob. Right now I handle the name tags and the roster. When you come in at the evenings here, please sign in. If you forget to sign in when you first come in, there's still time. The rosters are still up there until I leave at the end of the evening, so please sign in so we know who you are and when you're here. Number two, I've made up a bunch of name tags. I've brought two especially tonight, Kathy Wilson and Justin Yo. Are you guys here? Your name tags are here. And I've got a whole box full of name tags as well here. I've had them forever. So if you're missing a name tag and you've asked me to make you one, it's probably in this box. Come and get it. Beyond that, I'm still advocating for the fundraiser. We're giving away an ATV on a $40 ticket. All you got to do is buy one. And you can have that chance to take that ATV home. We've sold just a little over 100 tickets so far, so we're getting there. Let's just keep pressing and keep selling them. If you know somebody that you think might want to buy a $40 ticket for an ATV, let them know. We'll get them a ticket.
Tickets are in there already.
Say again?
How many tickets are in there already?
Over 100.
I mean, I'm looking at like
We're hoping. So $40 is not a lot of money to pay for you know, a $6,000 unit. So, and if you think $40 is a lot of money, it's really not. It's something that anybody can come up with once a month if they think they really want an ATV. See, how easy is that? Super easy. All right. He's going to buy you one too, sure. He'll put his name on it as well. All right. Does anybody else have any questions about anything I can help you with?
Yeah. Do you have the stickers now for the next year?
I do have stickers for the new year. For those that need them and can tell me that they are private members, I'll give them a sticker, no problem. Just come and see me. Yes, sir. It is?
How much money is
If it's a renewal, it's $50. Renewals are $50. Brand new memberships are $70. Yeah. I do not take credit card, but I know somebody on our board that does. So you can come and see me as soon as I'm done talking. If you want. Yes. Fiscal year is June for renewals. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Having a good evening? We really need the D-backs to beat them pesky Dodgers tonight, so sorry for all you Dodger fans. My name is Gavin Hickson. I'm your second-year board. And basically, I take care of the club's library, so if anybody's interested in coming to check out a book, it is 100% free. I did have a gentleman come in today and donate some books. I didn't catch his name. I apologize. But,
Perry. I think it was Perry.
we've got the...
Is that you, Perry? That was Perry.
Right there we go. Thank you very much. He brought in a 20-page gold pamphlet from the USGS. Brought in a pretty cool deal, plan to build a dry washer. If anybody wants to try to build their own dry washer. For you, $20. A Desert Animals of the Southwest, Desert Survival Guide, and a book called From the Ground Up, Stories of Arizona's Early Mines and Mineral Discoveries. So thanks again for bringing those in, appreciate it. I don't have much for you this month, that's about it. So any questions for me? Expect 2 men, so fantastic. Yeah. All right, Thanks, guys. Books. Dry washers and books.
Thank you, Gavin. How about you, Renee? What you got?
A whole lot of nothing.
I'm Renee Wadakta Jr., first year board member. I'm the guy that gets to haul around the trailer. There's really nothing I have to say. Well, I want to hurry up and sit down. I really don't have much to say. There's really not much going on besides what we have in July. And then also in August. But for the woman who lost her loved one, go see the list. See what you guys can buy. I think I heard her say something about tools as well. Any way possible, try to help her and her family out. And let's get out there and find some gold, huh?
All right, thank you very much. Coming over to Mr. Woody Wampler. He is our entertainment guru. He's going to talk all about the high school thing you didn't go to.
Thank you, Mr. Randy.
You didn't fire her. Oh, you blaming it on.
Thank you, Mr. Randy.
She says.
Oh, by the way, thank you to you guys that went to the school on the 30th. I couldn't make it down here because of the
This is
fire up
what she
there.
was told.
I appreciate it, and all the kids appreciate it.
She
So,
told me
thank you
she
very
said
much.
some really
And we did get some certificates that was given out. My daughter came up this last weekend, and I gave her a certificate to the kids.
She's got
On the
copies of
13th
the
of
locations,
July,
but that's all
we
she's
will
got.
have another school
We can
function
get copies
over in
from
Mesa.
Okay, but
Let's get them to
I
Fred and
believe
get
it's
them checked out.
220.
I mean, if it's
202 North
Yeah.
Sycamore in
but
Mesa.
everything on
South
this list that's
University-
already crossed off, she's already
University of
sold
Maine
some
on
of the stuff.
Sycamore.
That was a
I
giveaway
think that's
price
just-
there. Because that's almost.
It's Westfield Elementary School.
I don't
The
know
great
what
bunch
they
of
sold.
kids, and I can use any help that anybody wants to come to do it.
I don't know
We need to be
anything
there
about
about 8:30 in the morning.
But the ones that have got
And it
lines
starts at
from,
9 o'clock.
that equipment's
And it'll
gone.
probably go for about 2-3 hours. So, it's what it's all about. Yeah, I'll get a piece of paper if anybody that wants to sign up to come to it. But we can use all the help. If you have it, if you're new, it's really a good thing to come to. You get a bit of experience. You don't have to be a great painter to work with these kids. I mean, I work with them. So,
Ladies stuff.
that was a good one. On the 15th, we'll have the outing at my house. You're welcome to come up earlier. We're going to be doing a lot of different things. We'll be doing metal detecting in the very beginning. We'll plant a bunch of coins and washers and stuff. You keep what you find. You spend the whole day doing it if you want to, you know.
We got a lot of water.
But we'll be doing all kinds of different games for the kids and for the adults. And we'll be giving away dirt bags for most of the games. And there'll at least be one that we'll do a nugget with, whether it be a pan throwing contest or what, we don't know yet. But we'll be doing all kinds of different games. We'll stay busy. It'll be a lot of fun. How many of you went up to the last one we had up there? 3 or 4 of you? Actually, we had about, what, 60, 70 people. I think there were 70 people up at the last one we did.
Where's the overflow parking?
There's plenty of parking. There's plenty of good park on.
Down below?
And we usually have dirt up there you guys can pan that we know is gold in it. So we have a whole panning section. You guys can walk up and practice panning.
That's for you beginners, not for you pros.
Well, I always say I'm a beginner.
And we'll be doing some demonstrations. We'll probably be doing a demonstration on the gold wall. And we'll be doing some panning demonstrations. It doesn't matter how many years you've panned. It's amazing how you can learn a little bit something to help you. Because there's a lot of people lose gold when they pan. And we tell you how to separate the black sand from the gold and everything. It's really, really cool. And like I said, we're going to have a taco bar. So be sure to bring up a little side dish or something. I'm going to have what? A gold bag for the chili cook-off.
In a bag.
We'll have a nugget for the... Is that all right with you, Mark, if we give a nugget away for the chili cook-off? Sure. All right. Thank you, Mark.
Yes.
So, anyway, it'll be a lot of fun. So, you should have come up. And in September, we're going to be doing another function at my house, but we'll be doing a common dig up at Banny Mine Road. And that's a pan only, so everybody go out, and I'll try to help, and there'll be a few other people try to help people find some gold. And I think we'll be doing some sub sandwiches or some kind of sandwiches for everybody up there. But it's going to be a, camp out at my house for the whole weekend. Any questions?
Sunday night.
That's good. Yeah, we'll see you all week on Saturday. Okay? Come on, it's a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you for opening your home to us, and I'm glad that fire didn't make it that far.
Yeah, it's safe you guys all your trailers, by the way. I was going to tell them all go there and sell them, but I couldn't find the buyers.
Coming to our media person and internet guru and jack of all trades.
I want to make this quick in the interest of getting Bill up here. The pet food drive is still going on, and we'll have that drawing tonight as usual. And tonight we picked out El Pollo Loco. So that's tonight's prize. So thank you for donating. And I see somebody put cash in the barrel. That's good too. The shelter always takes cash. Always happy with that.
Trying to change the situation.
My buddy Scott at the Welfare League will pick up that stuff tomorrow at 1 o'clock on the head. Guys, never a minute earlier, never a minute late. He's at my house at 1 o'clock. And he always appreciates what we do for them, so let's keep it up. Newsletters are still on the table. If you want the newsletter via email, let me know, and I'll put you on the email list. Otherwise, it's posted on the Facebook page. And if I ever get to it, it's posted on the website. I'm recording the meetings. And unless I experience a technical difficulty like I did tonight, forgetting to turn the camera on for the first 5 minutes, the meetings will be posted on the website also for you guys to enjoy, or if you can't make it, and you're interested in our guest speakers, you can see their presentation on the web. If you need t-shirts or you got ideas for merchandise, Tricia and Matt back in the corner are doing a fantastic job of getting our stuff together. She's talking about, we're talking about maybe some travel mugs and some hats, so if you got any ideas, go ahead and see her. If you need a t-shirt, see her. I will take a credit card if you want to pay for claims, or you want to be taken by credit card. I can take that on my phone, so I'll take care of that for you also. If you go home and decide you want to buy a ticket, you can call me, I'll take your credit card over the phone, and I'll mail you your ticket or whatever for you. Okay, we'll make it easy for you to spend your money, I promise. Any questions? All right, I think we have something going on tonight, something special. Besides Bill, right? Okay, Randy's going to announce that.
We're going to do that now. I think somebody just turned 16 years old.
Right here.
And I think they're hiding it. They're cowering in the corner. And so Alyssa, she comes to a lot of our meetings with Jesse and Etta. Why don't we all sing you happy birthday? Ooh, that should really embarrass her.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alyssa. Happy birthday to you. All right, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We brought in a cake for her, so let's all go over there and get a slice of cake. We're going to take... Okay, yeah. We're going to get some cake over there, and then we'll come back in like 10 minutes, and then Bill's going to take the floor and do his demo. Well, Lee can wait. I'll get him after the meeting. Let's go. Cake takes precedence over Lee. So, sorry, man, missed it. So about a quarter till we'll reconvene.
How you guys doing tonight? Good? You guys finding any gold? Or is it too hot out there for you?
Too hot.
Come on, I go night mining.
Too hot.
It's not hot.
Snakes, scorpions.
Gold.
Dead jackrabbits and all that. If you guys follow my post, you'll see all that stuff. And a little bit of gold that I find.
Hey, you didn't ask me where to find it this time.
Is that number 4?
Is that number 3 or 4?
Number 3.
2. Maybe. I don't know. Number 4.
You can download it though. Okay. You can go to the website.
Claims cleanup.
Download, and on the Facebook page.
And we canceled until probably September.
Or email me and I'll email you a copy.
Too much gold to find at night. Y'all want to come out and hang it with me? My phone number's in that little pamphlet thing there. So. Man, I haven't seen Snake yet. I've been out probably 10, 12 times now. So. Anyway, yeah, claims cleanup, cancel July, August. Probably going to do one in September, but it'll probably be in the later half. I haven't made up my mind on where yet. Probably going to be Constellation Road. We need Solomon's Gulch. Need a lot of guys. We need 4-wheel drive trucks to be able to haul rock. Ted Henderson. Dump truck, maybe. Oh, he's not in here. Talk to him about the dump truck. And maybe a backhoe if we can get all that in there, yeah, we'll have it done in no time. But those claims are really nice. I have found gold on them. So, yeah. Just got to fix the road to get down to the... I got stuck. Directions. No clearance. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. We'll, that's it. That's all I have. Unless Ian has something to say. Come on, Windbag, get up. No, just kidding. All right, gold miners out.
All right. And like I say, if you're leaving the club, these guys, and they'll lead you in the right direction. All right, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting so we can do. Oh, hang on.
Tea and coffee.
I did. I said I was talking about it at the break. Didn't you hear me? I was telling them that we do have iced tea over there, and we talked about maybe just bringing tea for the next few months. Does anybody have a problem with that? Because they bring the coffee home and they end up dumping like 3/4 of it out. So, has anybody got a problem? Questions, comments? So for the next 3 months?
Small bucket of coffee, big bucket of tea for the next 2 meetings.
Okay.
I'll second that.
So coffee is first come, first served.
Another lady says.
I wouldn't even bring coffee. It was up to me because I was free. Okay, motion to adjourn? Second, all in favor? One abstaining? All right. We are out. Bill will come on up. Bill has done many talks. He can go on for hours, but we don't have hours. You can always drag him out in the parking lot and chew his ear till the sun comes up. He brought home, it was so nice, this is a donation. Always trying. All right, the floor is yours.
Hello. My name's Bill Southern. I run a site called Nuggetshooter, and I also have a forum on the internet. It's probably one of the oldest running gold forums on the internet. My passion is helping other people find gold, believe it or not. And how many of you here metal detect? Woo! How many of you found a nugget? That needs to change. All right. I basically go into detector, but you can ask a question anytime during this if you have any questions about detectors or how they work, or why they do what they do, or where I go hunt. I'll answer all except the last one. I learned a long time ago when metal detecting, it doesn't really matter which brand you buy, because it doesn't matter how good a detector you buy. It could be Minelab's $8,000 detector, It can be one of the lower end VLF detectors, but if you don't get the darn thing over gold, you're not going to find gold. And that's the simple part of it. I like to use clubs like the GPAP, Roadrunners. I'm in several different clubs. I use them for research. And I combine that club claim with books and maps. And how I do that, and like I said, ask a question anytime. But I don't have much time here, so I'm going to go directly into how I go about finding gold as opposed to how these things work, because I think most of you have heard me chirp about that before. I use several different methods, because I was like everybody else. When I first started out, I struggled. All right, I had a dry washer, I had my gold pans, I had all my cool stuff, and I think it was back in 88 or 87 or 88 when I started, and I had a Goldmaster 2, I think it was back then. The newest and greatest. And I'd go out and hunt in 3 or 4 hours, and I'd dig tacks, wire, metal, crap. I'd get frustrated and go back to the dry washer, because I could always find gold with my dry washer. There may be a little bit of gold, but I found gold. All right? That went on for quite a while, and I read a book by a man named James Strait. Anybody hear of Jim Strait? All right, well, he got to be a good friend of mine and my mentor. And what I learned from Jim is gold isn't where it's always supposed to be. And I also learned by reading a book called Follow the Dry Washers, which still is available, and it's a really good book if you want to learn a lot. I learned to check my tailings piles. How many of you always check your dry wash piles with a metal detector? Not very many hands. You know, I still get nuggets. Matter of fact, I just got a 2.9 ounce specimen out of a dry wash tailings pile up down below Rich Hill, down in Martinez Wash area. And it was a new tailings pile. It wasn't an old one. All right, the old ones pay real well too. I mean, those old miners back in those days, they would go out, rain, shine, wind, wet, dry, it didn't matter, because they didn't have the luxury like we do of going out there and thinking, man, it's too hot, let's go sit in the RV and have a beer. They didn't have that. They were struggling to get something to eat while they were out there. And they knew. And it'd be like if I took you right now and put you in a wash and said, you're going to get 10 ounces of gold every single day, but you have to throw away 3. You may look at me like I'm a nut, but yeah, you'll go. And they knew they were losing gold in their tailings. They knew they were losing gold because you can't work every hillside with a pick and shovel. You just can't. It wasn't worth it to them to spend hours for that 1 ounce nugget they thought might be up on a hillside somewhere. But to me, in this, I got all the time in the world. And after being frustrated all that time and going back to the dry washer, one day I got done dry washing. I went up to my truck, got my trusty gold bug by then. I walked back down and went over the top of my pile and got a signal. I looked down and there was a nugget just over a pennyweight laying right on top of that pile. The funny thing was I didn't see that nugget until the detector made it sound. I would have walked away from it if I hadn't checked that pile. And that taught me something. I looked around, I was at San Domingo then, and washed up on one of the Roadrunner claims, Shake 2. I started looking around at all those tailings piles, and I started hunting them. And back in the 80s, there was gold in almost every tailing pile at San Domingo. And I had a lot of fun. And then I learned from there to start hunting the banks. And then I learned, and I'm not a geologist, I'm really crappy at geology. I read the names of all these rocks and stuff, and I can remember the ones that are related to gold, but I have trouble with the rest of the stuff. So I cheat. I opened a book by Maureen Johnson or Eldred Wilson, Classic Gold Deposits of Arizona. Do you have those books? Hands? Anybody have those books? Not very many. Okay, why are you on a GPA claim without those books? It sounds kind of arrogant to say that. Okay, when you open up a book by Maureen Johnson or by Eldred Wilson, it's compiled information from the Arizona Bureau of Mines from back in the early 1900s and late 1800s. Every placer area that was deemed economically important in Arizona is in those books. 1 ounce nugget is pretty darn economically important to me. Okay, but back then, if it did produce $5,000 in gold at $18 an ounce, It didn't make the book. There's lots of places, hundreds of them out there that never made the books. Okay, so now you've got that book, you've got your GPA claim guide. You open your claims guide, you look at the San Domingo claims. Right? Well, you go out there, if you haven't studied at all about these areas, you get out there, you get out of the truck, and you go, well, where do we start? These books will stop you from having that problem. You open it up, it's going to give you detailed information. Okay, it's going to tell you when the plasters were active, how they were worked, who worked them, what equipment they used, how deep the gold was, where the main deposits were, how big the biggest nuggets were, and how big the average nugget was. And how much, in percentage-wise, whether it's fine gold, coarse gold, or otherwise. Well, of course, we're looking for coarse gold when we metal detect. Now I've got that book, and Maureen Johnson's book comes with a little map, and I'm sure you've all seen that one online. It's got the little yellow dots all over it, all the placer deposits of Arizona. All right? I take a geological map. Does anybody know what that is? Yes. The one with all the pretty colors? Okay? That's how I cheat, because I'm not a geologist. I look at that map and I'm lost just like the rest of you. But I'm not colorblind. All right? So now I've got this map with all these nice yellow dots that produced over $5,000 worth of gold, right? So I take this other map and I put it right beside it. And I start matching colors. And what you'll quickly learn is that each placer deposit in Arizona, or whatever other state you're going to be working in, the gold is going to be in similar type of rock deposits or alluvial deposits, and it tells you by color. So if you start looking, say, at the Prescott area, you're going to notice there's the same color pattern. And then you're going to start noticing, well, how come the same color pattern's over here, but there's no yellow dot? That's where I go. That's what I hunt for. That's what gets me between 6 ounces and 2 pounds of gold every single year for the last 20 years. All right? That sounds magical. I got no magic. But I'm willing to sit for hours and do research just to find that one little spot I don't think anybody's been to. Then I pack up and I rush out there and I find dig holes. You know, that goes on a lot. I use a couple other programs along with that. Gold Maps Online and Mine Cache. All right, those, after you find a spot that you're curious about, because you've used the other mapping, you've done some reading on how the plasters were formed, you can pretty much guess the rest of the placer gold in that area is going to be real similar. And also look for hard rock mines that had coarse gold. I don't care about the ones with the fine gold. You know, that was finally through all the rock and everything. I want the coarse gold. All right? And I go to these areas, and I hunt them, and I hunt them. And I keep hunting them until I find gold. And I like nothing better than finding trash. It didn't take me but a few years to realize that trash is as good a clue as anything else out there. How many of you find those little things we all call boot nails? They're about this long, great big round head on them. You know what those are? Pardon? They're not boot nails. Okay? Yep. Those nails are furniture nails that they used to take on chairs that weren't so fancy for us poor folk, and that's how they put the burlap and stuff up underneath the chair. Well, the old timers figured out because they had a bellows on there that was made out of either some kind of oilcloth or something to keep it so the air would stay. But everything all day long, nails, boom, boom, nails come out. They go back up to camp at night, bring a handful of nails down, tack it all back together, eat, have a shot of whiskey, and go to bed and do it all again the next day. I find those nails in the wash, I'm pretty sure it's been dry washed. And back in the 80s and stuff, we used to find old dry washers rotted away all over the place, but now people have hauled that stuff off over the years. Metal detecting itself, as far as the detectors go, they're all about created equal, except for some of the newer stuff that's coming out now. They're putting new technology in where some of the manufacturers have, say 40-year-old technology they've been using for years. Well, why would they do that? Because it works. All right? Because it works. I'm not going to sit here and tell you any metal detector is better than any of the rest. You all know I'm a mine lab guy if you know anything about it. There's a reason for that. And I just like mine lab better. I found a lot more gold with them and they're more versatile for me. And I used to always talk about, there's 3 things on your detector that are very important. The threshold, sound in the background, which that's changing now too. Ground balance, sensitivity. All right, the biggest mistake that a lot of you are probably making, because you can't get your detector to quiet down no matter what you do, and it won't ground balance, you're struggling with it, a lot of times it's a sensitivity. All right? When I first started metal detecting, I'm just as guilty as anybody else in here that's done it. I figured more is better. I cranked that sucker. But then I couldn't hear anything. They were like moving. It's just noise everywhere. Drive me nuts. How are you going to hear a target through that? Okay? Gold's a really crappy conductor. Crappy. Detectors have trouble hearing it. You're not going to get that same raspy, loud sound that you get out of a boot tack or a nail or out of a furniture nail or any of that you're going to get from a nugget. A nugget's going to, we thought it kind of sounds like mellow, mellow. You can tell. Lead sounds the same way. Why? Lead's a crappy conductor. Okay? Why do they use it in electronics, Mr. Southern? Anybody know why they use gold in electronics? It doesn't corrode. Electricity travels down the center of whatever object it travels through. That's why if you get hit by lightning, it goes right down the center of you and out your foot. So they can use a thin layer on there just for the corrosion purposes. The gold's a crappy conductor. If they use too much, it's going to hinder the travel of the electricity. Okay? So your detector's having the same problem. And some of the biggest mistakes people make is going too fast. If I'm in an area, and I know there's gold there, I hunt probably about this fast. Low and slow. And you can hear my coil hit the ground. Right? It would take me no less than maybe a year or two to completely work an area as big as this room. Thoroughly. Because I'll work it for a while, I'll come back, I'll work it for a while again, I'll come back with a different coil, work it again. Because if I'm finding gold, depending on the depth of the ground, I'm going to keep hunting it until there's none left. Oh, and fill your big holes, especially on floodplains. Why do I go over and over again? Because I find gold behind myself. I'm not afraid to hunt floodplains. I found gold on every one of those claims you guys have in San Domingo, up north, in many of those places over the years. I don't hunt floodplains anymore for the most part. I usually do lessons and stuff like that. But you guys, you know, club members pay good money. I got plenty of places to hunt without beating up on your spots. You'd be surprised how many areas out there are not under claim. And I'm going to go back to the map now. The map program's online. When you've got Minecache, or you've got a program called Arizona Maps online, it's just Gold Maps Online it's called. $30 a year. Okay, so now you've got a spot that you're curious about. Could be a GPA claim out here, one of the new claims you guys got. Something. You read the book, tells you where the gold's found and all that. You learn it really quickly. You've looked at the geological map. You looked at some of the areas around it. And now that you know everything about that area, you know where to start. You get out of your truck, you're not going to go, where do we start? You're going to be already in the back of your head. You're going to go, you know what? The book said they were recovering gold here. They're doing it with dry washers. So right away, I'm going to look at dry wash piles. The first place I would try. New or old. So a lot, you saw how many hands went up and people actually check their piles. And I get that. I'm not criticizing anybody for that. Because after a long day dry washing, the last thing you want to do is start digging around in that darn pile. You know? But if you got to level them out anyway, you might as well check them. Otherwise, I'm going to get the gold you left in them. Simple as that. And when they're covered with just a little bit of dirt, especially if you're out working at night like the old timers did, they left a lot of gold in those piles. Another place, washers. Everybody used washers for trash back then. Okay, because it would rain and it'd be gone. Well, it'd be down at Woody's claim. I didn't have to worry about it. Okay? Or it'd be down at his claim, and I don't have to worry about it. We find it now. Okay, but I don't like the gut of the wash. I'll work the gut of the wash sometimes, only if it's got a lot of gold in that wash. Generally, when I'm in a wash, I don't care how wide the wash is, I'm going to work 2 feet into the wash on the bank and about 3 feet up that bank. That's where I've got some of my biggest gold. And I still get a lot of gold off those spots. Okay? That's where I would start with a metal detector. A place like San Domingo, without reading the books, there's something you don't know. Okay? A lot in here don't know that gold pays almost exactly the same from the top 2 inches of ground to the bottom bedrock, unless you're in a wash or someplace else where the gold's been mechanically concentrated by erosion. Period. That placer is from pre-Cambrian times. So when we're sitting there looking at the mountains, going, yeah, right down around, that's where that gold come from. Well, it might have a few million years ago. The mountains were 3,000, 4,000 feet higher. That placer is from pre-Cambrian times. That's before bugs. That gold's been in the ground that long at San Domingo. Some of the other places you're going to read are going to be Jurassic times. It's all going to be different depending on where you are. But as soon as you start realizing that, and then you realize, well, the gold pays about the same from top to bottom, that means I can hunt anywhere out there. And I do. Those flats, they're red out in that area. We pulled some huge nuggets out of that. A friend of mine, Jim Boxberger, he was going back home. He just bought a GP 3000 from me back in 2004 or 5. And he's on my case. I haven't found a nugget with this thing yet. Send me somewhere I can get a nugget. I got to go back to Colorado. Some of you probably know Jimmy. You know, but anyway, I sent him out up to the wash up by the White Cloud mine. I said, get up to the White Cloud, take a left. That's old San Domingo. Go down that and hunt the hills there. There's gold there. He got lost. He took a right there below the hill where you go up to the White Cloud. You went up that little wash. You drive up that little wash about a mile, maybe a mile and a half, and there's a waterfall. You can't go any farther. Right. Turns around, goes back the other way. Well, on the way back, there's one of those little washes that come out in the big wash. There's trees right there. You don't see it going one way. But it was there going the other way. All right? Well, there's also some cans there with a solder dot on them. Okay, well, solder dot cans were outlawed in 1921, or 1920 or 21, because people figured out that lead kills them. So they quit using the solder dot, because they used to heat the cans up real good and put a dot of solder on it and cool it and seal the can. Right, well, he saw those solder dot cans, and he saw a few little dry wash tail piles there, so he went up the wash. The first part of the wash was full of trash. There's a big piece of tin right there. A lot of people would turn around and went away. He went up past the tin, got a huge signal, figured, crap, more trash. He went to kick it and hurt his foot. He looked down and he'd scuffed it just enough. He could see gold. And it was big. Okay? So Jimmy, he's an old guy like me. He sits down, he puts up those amount of Swisher Sweet and he lit it. He'd take a couple puffs and brush a little more dirt off and puffing on that cigar. He said he almost had a heart attack. Okay? He kept doing that and got down. And that's the one Perry Massey bought that weighed 2.27 pounds. Had 1.58 pounds of gold in it. Biggest nugget ever found at San Domingo. Okay, and that was real recently. Yeah, it was in the 2000s. Probably 2000, like I said, 4 or 5. It's still there. Okay? When I first started out, kind of a funny story. It was terrible. Okay, I got out there, I got in Jake Wash on Jake 2, and found 6 ounces of gold in the little hillside behind the boulder. I was a miner. Right? I sold my house in Apache Junction. I bought an Airstream trailer, packed up the wife and the kid. We moved out in the desert on Jackass Flats. I was a miner. Okay? I never worked so hard for $15 a day in my life. Okay? After about 6 months, the wife goes, "Mister, you're about to be single. You need to go get a job." So that's how I ended up in property management, but I learned something then. You know, enjoy it when you get into one of those pockets. But this pocket was only that far up the top of the wash, right up the edge. You know, the whole wash is just pounded. But that gold was right there behind that. It was kind of funny, so my daughter used to always go up and unplug my dry washer. I had a Keen, a puffer. She'd unplug it and go, "Daddy, there's nuggets in your top ripple." I get up and look, there wouldn't be any. She unplugged it this time, and I was mad. It was about toward the end of the day, and it was hot. I walk up and I'm just getting ready to yell at her. She goes, I looked down there. I could not believe it. The top 2 riffles on that thing were full of little nuggets. So, and that wasn't that long ago. That was back in the late 90s. An area I did my little trick with the mats. Up above, I guess it's down by Placerita area. And a friend of mine up there had, the guy's name's Herc, and they were getting a claim on state trust land. Well, in Arizona, to put a claim on state trust land, you got to pay a huge deposit. Okay, it was $5,000. But you also have to hire somebody to go onto that area and tell the state that, yes, sir, I think there's gold there. So Herc hires me to come out there. He hadn't been detecting very long, and I was trying to teach him and let him do it himself. He called me out there. They're going to feed me steak for 2 nights. And I got to keep all the gold I found. So right away, he put me in the first washes right by where we camped. I found a half-ounce crystalline piece and a couple little nuggets. He goes, all right, we're done here. He goes, look over there to that hillside. There's a slope. And for some reason, the old-timers never worked the slope, Herc says. I said, well, there's no gold on there. He goes, well, I already found a couple little nuggets. I said, yeah, these would be some small ones, it's real shallow, bright red. All the rest of the nasty quartz down at the bottom. There's a flat, pretty good sized flat, then a waterfall. I go, your gold's down there. He goes, well, you got the big fancy mine lab, you go down there and hunt it. So I'm walking along. First target was a baseball sized piece, just laced with gold. I tried to give it to him, he wouldn't take it. He goes, you get to keep everything you find. I said, okay, Herc, here, take my machine, you hunt down here, I'll go up there and hunt. No. He says, we gotta have a professional find our stuff. So I'm walking along, and not all signals with a metal detector are created equal. Because gold's a crappy conductor. I'm walking along that big old mine lab, and I took a swing, I just heard a, oh. That was it. Moved around a little bit like we do the little monkey dance when we go over the target before you dig it. I went around, there was no signal. Moved around this way, nothing. Put my feet back where they were and went over it again and went, oh. Again, I moved a little bit of dirt, no more than 4 inches. And that was a good signal after that. I dug down 2.5 feet and hit solid rock. 2 thoughts went in my head. Either it was a vein or it was a dang rock on top of my nugget. So I dug around the best I could, and I found it was a rock about that long, that thick, about that wide. I tried prying it out of the hole with my pick. I had a 3-foot handle on my pick, so we used long picks to dig big holes when we were using the higher end mine labs. And I got down to the edge of that rock, and I'm pushing on it, and the handle broke. My chin is the edge of the hole. I got blood coming out my beard, hurts up there going like this, you know. I said, dude, come down here and help me. He goes, I got this little pick. So I had to walk a quarter mile almost back up to the truck. Got an old military pick I had. Came back down, I got the rock loose, and I was mad by then. I picked that rock up, threw it as far as I could. Well, it wasn't very far because it was heavy. It hit the ground, I went, ha! Stuck my glove down the hole, nothing. I went, over the top of that thing. Herc heard it all the way up on the hillside through my headphones. It about blew my head off. And that one ended up being 27 pounds with 19 ounces in it. But he made me take it home. He was good to his word. So we called it the doorstop, and I teased him for like almost a year before he finally came and got it from me. But it was his gold, you know, and that was the biggest piece out of there. They got a lot of gold out of that claim up there. And it's right up above Oak Creek, down below Wagner and all that. That's a good area up there. Again, I had taught him, and he'd worked with me on research. He found that area by doing the trick with the mats and reading the history of the area below it. Like Oak Creek up in there, that's a really good area. Unfortunately, I got some friends up there that let me hunt their claims because they dredge. I just got to give them anything over an ounce. Pretty fair deal. Any questions yet? No?
What was the names of those authors?
Name of what?
The authors of the 2 books.
Maureen Johnson.
Yeah.
Eldred Wilson.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Those books are readily available, and they're not going to set you back either. And no, I don't have them at my shop right now, but you can find them at A&B has them all the time. Any of the shops down here will have them. The book's going to cost you all maybe $11.
No problem.
and it will find you gold. All right? The biggest part about that is we're going blind unless you know why in the heck you're on a claim. You really are. You can ask the gold miser, you can ask Woody, you can ask anybody in here where the gold's at, and they can tell you where it's at on that claim where they found gold before. But you still don't know why you're there. All you know is he told you where the gold is. That means he knows where it's at. Well, how does he know where it's at? Well, he had to learn somehow. He's done some studying, they've learned somehow. They've done research, they spent the time. It takes me probably 40 hours to get into a good patch. My best patch ever was 10.5 ounces in a wash from that door to that door. Just over the hill from where that big chunk came from. Never listed as a placer area. No recorded gold from it. You know? There's so many of those places in Arizona, I don't, and I try to stress this, and I'm standing up here just because I like to help people learn to find gold like I do. This is pretty cool. No, I don't get 2 pounds every year, but I get over 6 ounces every single year. So far. I'm slowing down a little bit now that I'm getting older. Technology-wise, VLF technology is all created about equal. You all got a threshold you have to listen to. You want that threshold. It says get it smooth in your book, right? There's no such thing as a smooth threshold. They mean rhythmic. Why they won't write it that way, I don't know. Maybe they think you'll start dancing. I don't know what they're thinking, but it's rhythmic. If you listen to the threshold in your background, it's kind of going, okay? So that threshold is kind of going, that was a target. That was a target. Right? Kevin Hogan likes to tell a story about his biggest target was a blanking. How many of you have been hunting with your detector? You're going along nice and slow, you're doing everything right, and you go over a spot and your detector just kind of goes, there's no sound and it comes back. Did you dig it? It was probably a nugget. Gold's a crappy conductor. Okay, a lot of times when gold's a little too deep, or almost out of your detector's range, all your detector's going to do at that point is tell you, stop, 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 I think there's something there. And coin and relic hunters know this, have known it for a long time. A lot of those guys are out there digging the really nice coin finds and battlefield finds, are just listening for that little chirp that tells you there's a brass buckle underneath a big chunk of iron. But there'll be just enough of a chirp. Right, Sheldon? It'll tell you that's a good target. We got to do the same thing we're nugget hunting, because we're hunting a target that's not a good target. Now, Mine Lab, I'm not making an advertisement here, but now they've come out with this thing. Most of the technology we're using on gold bugs, whites, and whatnot is 40-year-old technology. Like I said, it works. So they've stuck with it. Mine Lab, when the big gold rush started over in Africa, we all know about that one. All right, everybody was rushing to sell detectors. Well, I wanted to get over there and sell detectors. Mine Lab, Whites, Fisher, everybody. But then they got over there and started teaching these guys. They're not dumb. They don't have a word for threshold. They don't have a word for ground balance. Okay, they don't have a word for sensitivity. And even if you can teach them the word, they don't have anything to compare it to understand what the heck that word was or what it means. Mine Lab panicked. They went right to the drawing board and within a year this came out. This darn machine has no threshold. You've got 4 settings, on, off, deep, shallow. Shallow's got discrimination, you got volume and sensitivity. That's it. That's it. Turn it on and go. Wait a few minutes. Just ready to go. Just like that. It's quiet in here, if you notice. If I put it in all metal, it wouldn't. That's all metal. So it's hearing the lights and everything else. That's discrimination. You can hear nuggets smaller than the gold bug tool here underneath a rock of basalt with this thing. I've not been impressed by a machine in quite a while, and this one did it. I mean, I wasn't even this impressed with the 7000 when it came out. Actually, I think they did it first because it was so big and bulky. But anyway, it doesn't matter what machine you have. If you got that machine operating properly, you're going to find gold. Okay, because now you're going out and maybe do some research. And don't worry, you're going to get frustrated doing that. But you may get frustrated 4 or 5 times, but that first time you walk into a spot and all of a sudden everything in the washer on the hillside's gold, you're a happy camper. Okay? You're a happy camper, and if you try what I just told you, it's going to happen to somebody.
After you've done your map and math, what resources do you find out if you're on state park land, BLM land,
The LR 2000 is usable, but for most of us in here, it's really intimidating. You get on there and you just feel like shooting yourself in the foot after about 5 minutes. I use Google Maps Online, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, and I use Minecache. Okay? What you do is you go to the area you're looking at, and it'll tell you if the claim on there is abandoned, if it's a quit claim, or if it's still active. All right? Well, all that information is good for me. If it's abandoned, that's great, because then I can go out there and not worry about running into anybody, I hope. Okay? The claims that are active, of course you stay off of. If they're well marked, I mean you do. As far as the claims go, the claims that I have and whatnot, if I catch you on my claim and somebody's kicked over my claim markers, I'm going to ask you, go ahead and hunt today, and just don't come back without calling me. And most claim holders are that way. They're pretty nice about it. It's not like getting on some of the club claims and you got guys tracing you off screen at you and stuff. Now the clubs have all gotten better. The GPA has, Roadrunners. Roadrunners used to be real bad about that. Now they're just going to ask you, hey, go ahead and hunt today. Join the club. Have a lot of fun. But don't come back. All right? But after I look on those maps, I'm still not sure. And I'm sure that's what you're getting at. You got to put boots on the ground. You got to get out there. And the bad thing is the claim owner is not liable for incidental damage in Arizona. Some states will push that, but the BLM doesn't enforce it. Okay, that means if you have a claim out there, and I go out there the same day you put your markers up and kick them all down and use them in the campfire and start hunting your claim, you can't come out there and scream at me for being on your claim the first day. But you still, the second day you catch me on there, at that point it's my responsibility to have found out where I am and if somebody actually does have that claim. And the cool thing about Minecache is they update every 3 months and send you a new update that goes right into Google Earth for you. And it's pretty accurate. Probably the most accurate I've found. And Clay, a fellow named Clay does some CDs too that are real accurate. But the thing is, it changes so often. So often, you just never know anymore. Best way is boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. You guys in the club, you know how often your claim markers get taken. You find them in the washers, you find them in the back of people's pickup trucks in their yard. I mean, it's bad. It really is. And I've gotten to the point where I have the claim, I have it in usually somebody else's name. I found out real quick, I had some claims, you guys got some claims up there, I think up by King Solomon Wash, you go up the Washaway, there's a mine up there called, used to be called the Lucky Strike. And we found that mine back before anybody else had actually found it. We were driving along back on that road, it was real rough back then because the rancher wasn't bulldozing it. And I looked up on the hillside as I was going down this real steep spot and I said, look at that big red pile up there. Well, we found the owner and we cleaned up all that around there. Because in Arizona, if you got a piece of patented land, you have to claim everything around that patented land. So you can't just claim up to half of the patented land. They force you to take 180 acre claim, whatever it takes to surround that piece of patented land. Why that is, I don't know. I'm sure there's some logical explanation for it. But we ended up going up there. We found the owner in San Francisco, and she wouldn't sell. She has now. She died and sold it to somebody else, so I can't go there anymore. But we moved both those big red piles, me and 3 other guys, 30 feet this way from the bottom. And we pulled, I couldn't even tell you how many pounds of gold we got out there. It was just amazing. And there's 3 of us in on the claim. Every weekend we'd go down to court site and sell gold specimens. That was a lot of fun. And that was an accidental find. But I wasn't looking for a mine. I was looking for the Gold Bar O'Brien mine. We took the wrong turn and ended up getting into a real good spot. And that was a lot of fun. And I'm not sure who has the claims right in around that mine anymore, but I think you guys are pretty close to them up there. You've got some claims in years ago. Again, back to, you got any questions on metal detecting? I mean, none of you have any questions on the metal? Yes, sir.
What model metal detector is that mine lab, and what do they run?
This is the Gold Monster 1000, the new one. You're everybody ranting and raving about it right now. They're $800. And if you're military, they're $679. So Mine Lab finally built something that we can afford. You know, that's the way I look at it. And it killed me when I had to reach so deep into my pocket because I had to sell gold to buy most of mine, you know. I hated doing it. And I just keep all my gold in the fancy little things and everything. I got so much of it and had so many piles so high of those darn things, I just sell it all now.
You want to know if you take a check? Is that what
You know, so and plus, if you're going to buy a new machine, buy from a dealer that will train you no matter what machine that you buy. Okay? Because if they're not going to do that for you, you might be buying a closet learner. Okay, this is a turn on and go machine. And there's a couple others out there that are close to that. This is new technology. Nobody has this. And Bruce Candy's an amazing man that works for Mine Lab. No. No, and I'll put duct tape on your machine if I see you doing it. You're getting a lesson from me. All this does is gives you an indicator down both sides of the top, tells you whether the machine thinks it's gold or not. Whether the machine thinks it's gold or not. The machine. You got to look. Even when I'm indiscriminate with this thing, unless I'm running a real trashy area and just trying to pick out the lead and the gold and the brass or whatever's in there, I dig every target. And I kind of like to try to play a guessing game, but I really don't trust the machine. Why, Bill, don't you trust your machine? I had a Gold Bug 2 when they first came out. Love that machine. Always have loved that machine. This is the first machine I found that'll beat the Gold Bug on small gold and big gold. Okay, since the Gold Bug came out. I still love the Gold Bug 2. Okay, like I said, it's the only machine I've seen that'll beat it. When I had that Gold Bug 2, there was only 2 machines on the market when that came out that had a dependable discrimination. This is our Lobo and Gold Bug 2. You could flick it in discrimination and the target would go ziggy like that. And it was almost always right. Almost. I was coming up a wash. Yes, sir. What's what? 45. Yep. What Mine Lab discovered was that everything hits in certain sizes within certain ranges on machines. So 71 kilohertz was overkill, and even 19 kilohertz is a little bit underkill for getting deeper targets. And the hit range is in that 45. Plus this has a microprocessor, so it can up and down its own sensitivity. Anyway, I'm walking up this wash, and I'm hunting a guy named Lou, good friend of mine. And I'm coming up the wash, I'm swinging kind of fast, because right back there I had beer in my truck. And it was hot, no shade. And I had beer in my truck and cold ice, all right? I'm going up the wash, I get a couple signals. Machine says they're trash. I took the first one up, it was a nail. The second one was a piece of can, the little lip thingy off the can. The next one was a piece of iron. So I kept going. 2 more targets. Trash, trash. Up I went to get a beer. Luke comes up behind me and goes, hey, you left a couple targets down there. I said, yeah, they're trash. He didn't have a Gold Bug 2. He had a crappy detector. Didn't tell him it was trash. But he dug the first one up and it was a 3/4 ounce nugget shaped like a pencil. About as big around as a pencil and about that long. My machine, because of the way discrimination works on a VLF detector, looked at that, said, that's a nail. I'm going to tell the guy it's a nail. And when you took, and once that thing was out of the hole, you go over the coil with it, in discrimination, it still said it was a nail. That's why you dig all targets. And sometimes it's maddening. I mean, you're in a spot that's so, like up in Rich Hill in some places, just so bad, it's just maddening. And I'll work in an area like that for 30, 40 minutes, and then remember where I work and leave. I'll mark it on the GPS. That's another thing I do is real important. My memory isn't so good no more. All right, I probably forgot more places I found gold than I know where to go now. I take maps, good old-fashioned paper maps. And I use my GPS, a couple of my machines have a GPS on them. My 7000 does. And I will mark off washes. And not mark them off because I won't hunt them again. I'll mark them off as what I found, the direction I was going when I found them, where they're found in the wash, and the type of gold it was. And I was just talking to another fella in here about a guy he knows that does that too, named Luke. All right? Because I have places I've gone back to 2 or 3 years later and I cannot find them. To this day, I've got a place just above Ox Wash where it goes up and around that I found a little bench. I pulled 3 nuggets off right before dark. And I got back to Jackass Flats where I was staying, and it rained. Then it rained the next day. Then it rained a week. That was like 93 when we got all that rain, and it rained till March. Okay, well, I tried to find that spot again to this day. I can't find it. Because it all looks the same out there. It just all looks the same. So I do use GPS. I carry one in my pocket. And you'll be amazed at some of the patterns you can see of how the gold actually came down. Another trick out at LSD, we call it LSD, Low San Domingo. In the flats out there, bless you, in the flats out there, we used to find what we call 1 and 2 nugget patches. All right, normally when you find 1 or 2 nice nuggets, you got a few that are going to come into your pocket. We'd be up there hunting and we'd get a couple of nice nuggets and there wouldn't be anything around. And one day I noticed something. I said, well, there's always this same colored, rusty red quartz rubble in a small area where we find those nuggets. Then it clicked, Precambrian deposit. Okay, what is harder for water to move or erosion to move? A specimen this big with 3 ounces of gold in it, or a 1/4 ounce nugget? Anybody know the answer to that? Nope. Okay. What do you got? The big rock is able to be moved by water. There's more mass there, it's bigger, and it's shaped right that the water can push it, along with the rest of the erosion, quite a ways. To where that 1/4 ounce nugget's going to get a hold of that bedrock down there, and it's going to hold on for dear life. And it takes something to bust the bedrock it's got a hold of loose. We find nuggets all the time that are just perfectly smooth on one side and the other, as rough as a cob. You know, and a lot of those we have to pry right out of the bedrock, and it's just been laying there, stuck there for, good Lord, who knows how long. Okay, but those big pieces had gotten with erosion and it ended up on the flats down there, and then they decomposed and pooped out their nuggets. And then we started getting up on the hills with binoculars and looking for little patches of the reddish quartz. And we did really well that way there for quite a while. Again, my favorite thing and place to start is dry wash areas. I look for areas that are dry washed. And I cheat there again too. You can take Google Earth and you can zoom in close enough now and you can find dry wash tailings where other people don't even know they are. Okay? There's a gold rush fixing to happen, sad as it is. There's a gold rush fixing to happen this spring and this fall, right up north where all that fire burned. Right? I'm itching right now to get in there. Okay? Most metal detectors are going to get over that charcoal and they're going to go off. They do. You get over that fresh burnt charcoal and it's a nightmare. Every stump you go over gives you a signal, except for some of them. Okay?
You should see all the dust devils up there moving all that stuff off of there.
I saw that. That was pretty impressive. Were you the one that posted that?
Huh?
Were you the one that posted that thing? Somebody posted pictures of it.
There were a bunch of them up there. I mean, there's dust devils everywhere, just picking that stuff up and moving it.
One of them actually restarted a fire.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not allowing anybody in there yet, are they?
No.
You probably wouldn't tell me if they were.
No.
You know, but I mean, he's going to cut me off in about 3 minutes here. But anybody got any questions?
Yeah, can I talk to you when you're done?
Sure. Anybody else?
How deep does that one go? About.
That's a good question. That's the best question yet. Okay, I can't answer it though. All right. I can tell you how deep it'll go at San Domingo where I'm hunting with it. I can't tell you how deep it'll go above 2 will go. I can't tell you any of that because it all depends on mineralization, how you have the detector set up. This one will hear a piece about the size of a grain of rice easily at 4 or 5 inches. The go about 2 will go down about 3 inches for that same piece. Why? If the go about 2 was 50 kilohertz instead of 71, it would get more depth on the smaller stuff. Simply because it's a little bit too hyper. And it took years for anybody to figure out that there was a sweet spot in all the kilohertz. The sweet spot's between 45 and 60 kilohertz. Yes, sir.
Do you take people out, do you have lessons and classes?
Yeah. I got a guy that works with me named Mike Furness, and some of you may know him. He does lessons for me. We're both certified. I give lessons on all machines pretty much. If you buy from me, you get them free. So that's the best deal. Like I said earlier, if you're going to buy a detector, it doesn't matter if you buy it from me, Rob Allison, any of the other guys out there, make sure you're going to buy it from somebody that's going to take the time to train you. And not real fast either. So you understand. I let customers come back. On my regular lessons, it's $50 an hour. Average class is about 2 hours. Because the basics of learning the 3 main settings on these machines, and I got into sensitivity and got sidetracked, and I'm going to get yelled at again here in a minute. But sensitivity is not power coming out of your detector. Okay? How many of you know how to use a CB radio? Okay? When you turn the gain, RF gain, all the way up on your CV, what happens? Lots of static. I may be able to talk to you from a half mile away because I can see your pickup truck. As soon as you're a mile away, you're gone. So I turn that gain down. Cleans up the air, I can hear it. It's RF gain on all metal detectors. There is no TX. It comes out of the factory, set by the FCC. All you can do is make the machine hear smoothly. And that's what the sensitivity is. Okay, real quickly to adjust your sensitivity, you get your ground balance set, you get your threshold set, turn your sensitivity all the way down, hold the machine about that far off the ground, turn it up slowly. And it'll be nice and smooth, nice and smooth. You get to a point where it starts going, getting a little bit shaky, turn it back a notch and up. Doesn't matter if it's on 3 or 15.
Now, one question, you're talking about all these detectors. How often do you change the battery?
This one here, I haven't yet.
Because it doesn't affect the operation of the battery.
Oh, okay, affecting the operation. I use alkaline batteries. A lot of these machines come with rechargeable NIMH. I don't like them because when you put them in, if you look at your battery indicator, you're already at 3/4. But with the alkaline, you're all the way up at the top. I like that little bit extra crispy edge. And the alkaline, when they go out, they go out. You know, it's not like the other ones will kind of fade off a little bit. I don't use my batteries until I get down like a quarter on it and I pitch them and get new ones in there. Coil covers too. Wear your coil covers out. I go through 2 a year on most of my machines. It's a lot cheaper than walking away from a $50 nugget. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to get off here and hope to help you.
Thank you. We got a nice t-shirt for you for the club, and you got playing with it, so that's on your little file there. Thanks for the demo. Thanks for the detector. All right, we got to get to our drawings here. I guess we're going to start with, does everybody have a blue ticket? Blue ticket for the door prize raffle? If not, speak out.
I just sold one of those for...
Hey Woody, come up here real quick. Woody, you have one last thing he wanted to talk about before we hurry up and get through the drawings.
I don't know how I can miss this. On the 22nd of July, the club is going to be over at Bass Pro Shop, right? Bass Pro Shop in Mesa. It's right off of the 202 in Dobson. That's the exit. We'll be there, the club will be there, teaching people how to pan for gold. We're going to do a nugget. We're going to do a nugget. We're going to raffle off a nugget. And me, Frank, and Wayne from the Legend of the Superstition Mountains will be there signing autographs. So you all come up and see what's going on at the Bass Pro Shop on the 22nd. Thank you.
20 seconds.
What time, Woody?
What time?
9 o'clock.
I'll get, July 22nd.
It's the 22nd of this month, it's on a Saturday, it'll be 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Rob? Yeah, at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, thank you.
All right, blue tickets, everybody. Last four are 5046.
Around here, nobody would know that many stresses on it.
You want to last one too?
How about 5045? So whoever came in right after him or before him.
Fix it up. Fix it up.
Pick him up.
Try to close it down now. Gavin's closing up the library if anybody wanted to pick up a book.
Pick him up. Shake him up.
This must be yours. Somebody left two together. I can't get away with that. I have a feeling that was yours.
Probably was.
5059.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Something for that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, my goal.
She got a little tank there.
Stick his hand.
That's from overshaking him. How about 5041?
Shit, I got 5
41.
Randy, lower.
Going once, going twice. 5096. 96. 96. Gary, 96.
He says 5016.
9-6.
She tried cheating. She tried cheating. All right. 5019. We won't hold it against her, baby. 5019.
Too low. Yay, Ashley. Yay. Bring that out this weekend.
Congratulations, Cisco, you're president for India.
Look at you. Oh. Oh, good.
5095.
95.
Yay.
5029. Right in front. 5090.
Shake him up.
Pick him up. Bring him up.
90.
Stir him.
Doesn't work.
Shake him up.
No, do it.
It don't work, you tell him.
It's not his anyway. Five, 058.
I tried to tell you guys that. I you guys that one. Oh, God.
That's signed by the gold with the cube guy. Yeah. The back pan. Congratulations. 506. 5.
Good, nice. Nice.
The library. There you go, fill up those little vials there, that's your entry fee for next year.
Just don't follow me.
5032.
Backwards. Maybe he's dyslexic.
It's kind of hokey, like I said.
Just put them in my pocket.
Yeah, okay, just draw.
8727.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Chicken, man.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
One off. 3 off. All right. Moving on to your white ticket nugget raffle. I had to find out where they were.
Right there.
White tickets.
Karen, I gave her.
Oh, these two? Okay. What two?
Come on with it.
All right, there's a little variety. There's some silver nuggets, there's some gold nuggets. All right, so. White ticket is last 4. 3, 8, 3, 0. I think I got someone coming out, I think I do.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was hoping a few people would bring one. Yeah, we'll post it online for you. Definitely. Thank you. And also, sure. Also, too, I've got bikes and camping.
0.79 gold.
Yeah, camping equipment would be good too.
Make sure I don't shake them up too much.
Mix them up! We'll do it because
How about a 3-3?
everything that you guys do.
9-1.
Yeah, camping is good.
3391. 3391. Well,
There it is. There it is.
I'll trade you all of these for that one.
I mean, it's, you know, you can stay overnight at the campsites. Yeah. And then when we were younger, we went camping. You know, propane tank, all that. All right, I'll put that with the list. Little grills.
the gold, 0.77.
I guess whatever you can think of, we've got.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just have to call you. This is.
How about a 3-6?
Yeah.
6-2. 3662.
You know, like I said,
We're over here.
Over here.
The end of your table's doing good.
Yeah, we're sitting at the wrong table. Racist. You're buying your tickets too early, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
That doesn't change. That doesn't change.
Gold, 0.82. Bigger.
There you go. Yay!
How about 3-3? 9-5. Think guys that one.
Come on, Randy.
Might be a double dipper.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Yep. Double dipper. Dan, you want me to hold that for you? Yeah.
And I might have to escort him to his car. Should've took the one that was. .73.
Hey.
How about a 0-0?
You woke up tonight.
4.
0084.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's getting closer to you guys over there. You want him a nugget tonight. Good.
All right, more gold, 0.87.
Yay. Nice
So,
nugget.
Mix them up. Pick them up.
how about a 3-7? 2-5.
Oh, look at that. Don got one.
Don, that's my station.
Don got her a nugget.
Oh, 0.95.
Yeah.
Silver.
Big.
How about a 3-9? 2-0.
I don't think it's stirred them up.
He's not disappointed. Is it really right on the end? Yes.
Oh, that's not good. No.
1.03 silver nuggets. Get there. How about a 3-9? 1-8.
3918.
Double dippers.
Coming back from north.
Rolling, you're
You
so
guys
close.
went too early, man.
The guy, I know what it was, he said, oh, you got this one.
0.82 gold. 3861.
No.
He had to go back.
38.
Cable's on fire over there, I tell you.
The whole hillside. Nothing but all
You gotta get a little lower.
Table's off limits next month.
It's roped off.
Dig a little deeper.
she said.
0.76.
Yay.
Looks like a Reese's cup wrapper. All right, 0.71 goes to
3-4.
3-6. 0.
Yeah.
9.
You didn't get in the lower numbers.
Oh, first timers.
All right, moving on to our gold nuggets. Who wants gold? Okay. All right. Gold. All right, Otto's giving away gold after the meeting.
Now mix them up. Mix them up.
All right, we have 4, 3, 7, 8.
Next month.
Oh, look at
Divine intervention here.
No way.
Yeah. Go home now. 1.18.
Yay.
Do you have any more tickets? 4, 3, 3, 2.
3-7. I don't want that.
Just tap.
1.40. And the last is the biggest one. 1.46 goes to lucky number 4-3. 8. 4.
Very good.
4-3-8-4. Make sure we confirm this one. Yeah. All right, congratulations. Thank you everybody for coming. Please push in the chairs, throw all your garbage away. I hope to see you guys up at Woody's for the Chili Festival and Taco Bar. All the info can be found online. If you have any questions for me, too bad. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much. See you soon.